Hey everyone, this is Brooke Hewlett for HBBLeads.com, bringing you the new course Email Secrets 2, and we will be covering the difference between sending marketing emails and personal emails, so you know which ones are best for your business and you use them the right way to get the best results. And this is also a video on how to use email marketing inside Prospect Toolbox and get more emails in the inbox there as well. So this video has a lot going on, and some of you may have never seen Prospect Toolbox before and you might be unfamiliar with it. So I'll give a little bit of foundation and go a little slow in the beginning. And some of you are very advanced with Prospect Toolbox. I think you will get something out of this too, because I'm really going to comb through a lot of the settings in there and show you what is available. But the overall goal and the overall intention is that you find a few things in this video that you can use to help increase your results in your business. The more emails you get into the inbox, the more your revenue goes up. You know that, obviously. But then when you start using tools like email marketing software, these little increases that you do, you add a new email campaign, you add some auto replies, you add a couple things here and there, and suddenly you're starting to see your numbers go up even more and your callbacks go up even more. And I know because I'm a professional email marketer. That's actually my expertise, and I'm going to be sharing my secrets with you on how I do a lot of this. So this course specifically, just so you know, is for network marketers, MLM reps, direct sales, work at home, and home-based business entrepreneurs specifically, because in these industries, it is so much harder to send email. My advice for you is completely different than when I've done email campaigns for maybe a Fortune 500 company that's not in this industry, or if a coffee shop came to me, their emails would look very different than for you to recruit and build your downline. There's different things that trigger spam filters in different industries. So with that, we have to be even more careful, because unfortunately, network marketing related companies, even slightly related, you might say my company is not exactly network marketing or MLM, but if you're in that category, if you can search on an MLM directory website and find your business listed, basically the spam filters are listing your company name and your links as spam. So when you send mail, it doesn't go through, and that doesn't happen for other types of business. And I've talked about this before in the other video. I'll just recap quickly. One of the things I'm going to help you do is not get lumped together with all those other marketers. So we're going to have workarounds, so you're not sending your company name and you're not being profiled as being a network marketer. You just look like an individual person sending legitimate email, okay? And the more emails you get opened, the better everything is. So this video is going to cover a lot for a lot of people. I'm going to start as simple as I can and then get as advanced as I can in the time limits that I have. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so here's the general plan that I have for this video. First, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of sending emails in different ways, whether you use marketing software to send marketing emails or you're sending personal emails. Then I'm going to give you a basic tour of the Prospect Toolbox system, covering everything I can related to sending email. So it's an email specific tour. This is not an introduction video to Prospect Toolbox. Be sure to look for other videos on that. If you don't see them now, they'll be out very soon. If you want to get a full tour of that system, this is just email focused. And then we'll get into a game plan on your first 10 days, whether you're just starting with Prospect Toolbox or if you already are. It's basically a checklist of everything I recommend to set up so your emails get in the inbox as much as possible. So this is like a mandatory checklist we'll be going through if you have a Prospect Toolbox account, so you get the most opens and the most emails answered. All right, let's get started. So first, let's talk about those marketing and personal emails. So this is kind of obvious, but we just have to cover this ground for everybody. So when I say marketing email, I just want you to know I'm referencing something that looks like the email on the left. And a lot of times marketing emails might have bright red font and bold and join now and all these sorts of things, right? You're familiar with this. And a link to join the company. And email marketing, if it's from software and you're sending the same message to everybody and you're sending a lot of messages, you need to have that address and unsubscribe link. It is the CAN spam law in the United States, which is where we're focusing on. So this is a marketing email. And when I say personal email, I mean something hand typed where you're not trying to sell them something, you're just talking to a friend. Okay, so whenever I say either of these two phrases, you know what I'm talking about. Let's take this a step farther and tell you what I recommend actually. And I covered this mostly in the last video, but just to recap, what I recommend is sending marketing emails that look like personal mail. Okay, so in the previous slide, you can see the bold and the company link and all that. I recommend toning it down so it doesn't look so spammy, because network marketing companies are harder to get in the inbox. We're going to be more vague and just be more personal with people, which people like, and we can still have that unsubscribe link and address that we need on our marketing emails, but overall it looks more like a personal email. So that's what I really recommend. And I want to ask all of you a question if you want to participate with me out there. If you had a busy work morning, and I don't know, think about how many email accounts you have and how much emails on them or don't, if that's going to stress you out like it does me. But when I open my emails, what do you do when you see an email that looks like this? Just glancing at it, just first glance. I don't know about you, but I hit delete. This looks like spam to me. It looks like marketing. This, if I see an email like this, I take time and I read it and I engage. I might write back, I might call, but I probably won't delete it. If anything, I'll be really curious who sent it, right? This is something my eyes glaze over. It looks like marketing and I hit delete. So that is why I recommend this. And not only am I recommending this, I've done it with a lot of success in my lead generation campaigns that I do privately and have done in the past at very high volume. My lead generation campaigns look more like this than like the marketing email example, because more people want to talk to a real person than answer an ad. So this is what I recommend in general. And be yourself, use your own words. People have asked me already about subject lines. Look, you really just want to be authentically you. Maybe you have certain words that you use that I don't use. Okay? What we don't want to do is all copy each other. Because if we start copying each other, the spam filters actually can pick that up and say this exact email has been sent out to a couple thousand people. So you actually want to write your own email in your own words, and the subject line doesn't need to be anything fancy or specific. It just needs to be real. And when we get into the email templates, you'll see how that works. We might have an email to write when we leave a voicemail for somebody, and you could write whatever you want. What would you say if you were writing to your friend you left a voicemail for? I might say, when can we talk, in the subject line. Somebody else might say, I just left you a voicemail. Somebody else might say, when's a better time to reach you? I mean, you put all those things in the subject line that look casual and real, because casual and real gets opened and things that look like spam do not, right? And we don't all want to be doing the same thing, honestly. So be you, be authentic. People love authentic you, your personality. I put smiley faces in my messages. It goes over quite well. So you look, I did it here, what I recommend, right? You like that. You like that I'm just being me, and nobody wants to answer an ad or listen to a robot, basically. So be you, be authentic. Now let's take this a step farther and let's compare just side by side. When we're sending marketing emails, you have to be using marketing email software, because when we're using software, let's talk about what this will do. When you're using software, it's actually going to send mail more slowly. And I'm not going to share that backstory of why, because we could do an hour video on how that works, let me tell you. But the reason it sends mail slowly is that it helps get more email in the inbox. So you might send a big email campaign and you are checking your email and you're having your team check their email. You call your leads and they don't have the email, but it's because it does send mail slowly to get more email in the inbox. And the email marketing software I'm about to show you, called Prospect Toolbox, does send mail slowly. And in the middle of the night, it might send it out in 10 minutes, but at 3 p.m. on a Monday, it might take 3 hours. But it's really good to know that, Okay, now you know there's pros and cons to each. And then with software, you might invest a lot of time to write email templates, write stories about yourself, add photos of yourself, add links, add videos, and customize it for you. But all that is done one time. And then you have this thing called duplication, where after that, your emails are a one-click, one-touch emails, where you're talking to somebody and you click on one thing and that email template is sent out. Or you have an appointment with somebody, you click on the appointment time and that email is sent out. So you have this duplication where you might do a lot of work in the first week, but then for the rest of the year, you might have thousands of emails sent out that look customized, but you really only had to write them one time. And duplication is where the money is, that you just want to do something one time and then have it consistently working for you. Okay, and then marketing software has automatic emails. Like I was saying, one-touch emails, things that are pre-written, things that just happen. You schedule an appointment and they're already getting reminders, okay? Tracking, we'll look at the tracking and just seeing who opens, who clicks, who watches your videos, seeing all of that. You could do big mailing to thousands of people in your team, announce events, do drip email campaigns. There's so much you can do in the software I'm about to show you. And then you also have that built-in unsubscribe link and your physical address. It's already there. Actually, when you place your order, if you go through HBB Leads and get the prospect toolbox, your address is already added to your emails from your account. Like it's already there. It's already done. And that's it, because we have to. It's required by law. So email marketing software has a lot of good stuff. The only drawback, please remember, is that it sends mail slowly. Now let's look at the personal mail accounts. So this is like Gmail, Hotmail, your company account. When you send an email there, it usually goes out immediately. So if you're on the phone with somebody and you really have to email them something, and that's the only way, like a document or something you can't text to them, I do recommend texting people when you need to get something to them immediately. But let's say you need them to sign a document. They need to do a big download of something. This will be immediate and usually within minutes. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes, I would say maximum. And that depends on the other person's mail program as well. You're more likely to reach the inbox every single time on a personal email account. When you're doing anything with software with lots of duplication, with the same messages going out, you are going to land in the junk mail folder more. I'm going to show you as much as I can to avoid that from happening in this video. But know with a personal email account, you're more likely to just land in the inbox. But here's one of the downsides. You do have to handwrite every email. You have to hand type or handwrite. There's no duplicates. And by the way, in your personal email accounts, you don't want to be pasting duplicate messages over and over, or you're going to start ending up in the junk box. So this is where you need to type everything out. And every message is unique and individual for each person. You're not going to have that advanced tracking of knowing who watched a video or who opened it. And you're not going to have the unsubscribe link or address. But you don't need it because every message is unique to people you have a conversation with, and you're not really advertising at them. So this is really important because I'm about to get into my prospect toolbox and show you where these features are. All right, so let me hop over to there really quickly. Okay, and for those of you that haven't been inside yet, I think I'll come back to the tour. I want to show you this. Let's see. I really want to show you this so you can understand. We're in the dashboard, and I will give you a mini tour. But right now, I just want to show you this entire system. Everything you're looking at here, every single thing is marketing emails. So we will be looking at the email templates, the autoresponders, the warm market invitation, there's so much in here we're going to cover. Just know everything you see here is a marketing email. So with that being said, if we go back to my slide really quickly, everything in your prospect toolbox sends mail slowly. A lot of people don't know this, and they're on the phone with a lead and they send a one-touch email, click on an email for an appointment or to send them a video, and they don't get it. And that's because this software is built to help more email get in the inbox. And by the way, no matter who you use or who you hire, there's really no company out there that will send mail lightning fast. It's not about that company. It's about what is Gmail doing that day. And I don't want to explain how all that works, but they have to send it at a certain rate so it doesn't end up in the junk folder when it gets there. So they have to send mail slowly. And a lot of people get their Prospect Toolbox account and want to know why they sent mail and the people didn't get it until 3 hours later. Well, it's to help it get in the inbox. But here's some good news. So Prospect Toolbox also has a built-in personal email account. So I mentioned the personal email account sends mail immediately, will almost always reach the inbox. You do have to type every email. There's no tracking or unsubscribe link. So in your Prospect Toolbox, there is this link right here. Check your email, okay? And unread email. These go to the same place. Okay, this just tells you how many new, if you have any new emails, so you know. And let's click over. I'm going to click on this. And I'm actually, I was writing a mail. Okay, so you're looking at the personal email account that you get with your Prospect Toolbox. So I want you to understand that depending on what's happening that day, you might want to do a big mailing where you mail out a lot of email using some of the tools, right? You might want to send a big newsletter, a big campaign, and know that that might take a few hours to get out to everybody. But if you have a lead on the phone and you absolutely have to email something, they don't do text messaging, you want to click on check your email or unread email and go to your personal mailbox and send a message from here because personal mail goes out faster. So you can tell that these look pretty different, and that's because they're actually completely different systems. This system here will send your mail immediately because it doesn't have to go through all the checks and balances and slow delay of sending marketing emails. So just know that you have both, okay? You can do big marketing in here, but if you really need to email somebody fast, you want to come over here to your personal email. So that's what I want to show you first, is you actually have two ways of sending email in your Prospect Toolbox account. And that's what this is all about, why I needed to show you the different types of email and what you can do in your account, okay? Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop back over and let's do a really quick tour just in case some of you have never been here before, you don't have a Prospect Toolbox yet. I do recommend watching a separate video, but I feel like minimally I'll show you how to get a Prospect Toolbox and how to log in. So real simply, if you're at hbbleads.com, just look for these logos for the Prospect Toolbox, click on a logo, go through the shopping cart. Once you have your account, you paid for it, you can go to My Account, and that will log you in, and it will look like this. And then you will see a link to activate it, by the way, right about here. And then you will see a link to log in. And by the way, your account will be more detailed than mine. I have an admin account. But for the rest of you, you would see your billing details, your billing date, cancel, change level, all those options are here. And we'll cover that in other videos. And then I just want you to know you can log in here, and that will take you into the Prospect Toolbox. So you just log in at HBB Leads and everything is connected. I just want to cover that for new people. First time here. Okay, now I want to give you a tour, sort of a brief tour of all the ways to send email in here. And then we'll go on to our next steps. Let's go back to my slides really quickly so we can look at this. Right, so now we're going to do the dashboard, the contact manager, the account settings, personal email, marketing emails, tool templates, all that stuff. All right, so when you first get your account, the very first day, you'll actually have this welcome wizard, and I do cover this in other videos, so you don't need to worry about that right now. It's really easy. It's a step-by-step process, okay? So really easy to do. And then we have our dashboard, and we just covered the personal emails, right? We now know this is a separate account. So let's talk about some of the other ways to send email. There's a lot of ways to add things. I think I'm going to actually jump ahead and show you the marketing tab. I'm going to go a little bit out of order, but I think it will make the most sense. So we're going to go to the marketing tab right now. And in the marketing tab, you have all of your marketing tools, okay? And none of these are email. This is an email video. So let's start with email campaigns first. Okay, now the email campaigns, we have leads or market, prospects, distributors, customers. These are system email campaigns, which means we have written these for you. Let's take a look at an email. Okay, and that'll bring up the 3 emails that go out, what day they go out, and let's look at it. Let's take a preview. Okay, now this would actually autofill the name of your lead, and this would autofill your information down here. Okay, and that would be your website. Okay, so this is already done. After you do the setup wizard, again, we cover that in another email, the setup wizard, but this is the system email campaigns, and there is all of these, this many messages. By the way, you are welcome to override these campaigns. If you don't like our email campaigns, you can click override and rewrite them yourself. And if you mess up and you break something, you see this one says revert, you can click revert and that will revert back to the default system messages. So you can't break anything in here. Feel free to rewrite our campaigns and make them personal for you. And then down here we have your email campaigns, where you can create a new campaign on any topic that you like. And email campaigns are the type of campaigns. Let's just look at, let's do another preview here. Now, the way email campaigns work is a multiple of messages. So, for example, we can put one on day 1, day 3, day 5, day 8, day 11, day 15. So, for example, if you have people, prospects to me, and people have different definitions. Prospects are people that are interested but haven't joined yet. So usually for me, if we go back to email campaigns, I'll tell you what these mean. Leads to me means brand new leads. Okay, so when you buy leads from HBB Leads, this system, if you have it, actually will send this exact campaign 6 messages automatically without you changing any settings. So if you do absolutely nothing but buy this system and buy some leads, automatically those messages will go out. I highly recommend watching this video first and the other setup videos that we have or will have very soon. But basically, if you didn't even know what you were doing, this whole system is very automated to send these messages out to all of your leads from HBB Leads that you buy that are within 30 days old. It won't send it to age leads, like 180-day leads, if we even have those when we make this video, won't happen. But anything within 30 days sends these. So to me, leads are your new leads, people you haven't talked to, leads that you've purchased, okay, from HBB Leads. Warm market is people that you have been introduced to, maybe at a networking event, maybe a referral from someone in your family, someone you met on Facebook. That's what I call warm market. Prospects to me are people that could have been one of these, but you've already talked to them and they're somewhat interested. Do you ever have those people that, oh, I like what you're doing, I'm just not sure? That's what I put in the prospects folder. And so we can continue to create email campaigns and continue to drip messages on them about your business and all the benefits of working with you. Distributors are for people who've joined to be in your downline, people who are going to be representing the company, joining, and being recruited. Customers are people who only want product. So if one of your warm market or prospects then decides they just want to buy some products from you, maybe a vacation package, maybe a legal package, maybe essential oils, maybe beauty products, maybe health and weight loss products, whatever it is that your company does, you would put them in the customers folder and they would get the customer's email campaign. So these are email campaigns and these drip out for a number of days. Okay? And then you can create your own. So you can create as many as you want, as many messages as you want. You could create, if you wanted, 30 days of dripping messages on your leads. Now, why wouldn't you do that? You know what? I can't think of any reason why not. When you do things like this, although they take time to design and edit and write the content, you do it one time and then it's working while you're asleep. It's contacting your leads while you're asleep. And the more you do, the better and better it will get. So I highly recommend investing time here into email campaigns. Now let me show you something that is specific to this prospect toolbox that you won't find anywhere else. And that is these email campaigns. Memorize this if you can. Leads, warm market, prospects, distributors, customers. Remember that. I'm going to go over to the contact manager really quick. And I got to find that tab here. Let's see if I can find my contact manager. Sorry about that. Sorry about that little delay. I always just show my own information or fake information when I do training videos. I don't want to show off any actual leads or actual people that are in here. Okay, so in the contact manager, you will notice what you just saw. Leads, here's the warm market, and the prospects, and the customers, and the distributors are here somewhere. Where are they? Distributors. Okay, now the reason they're out of order is because you can actually manage these folders and create new folders or move them around in the order that you want, even organize the folders. Okay, now here is where this relates to email. When you have your contacts in here, your leads, your contacts, you can even add your team, you can drag and drop them into a folder. And when you drop them into the folder, what happens is, as you notice, this is the same name as those email campaigns. Every folder in here is linked automatically to the matching email campaign. So if I were to drop one of these contacts, let's do test lead, into the leads folder, immediately the test lead is unsubscribed from the current email campaign and subscribed to the leads email campaign. You don't have to go hit subscribe and unsubscribe. You can sit here with a list of customers, a list of warm market, a list of whatever you've imported. We do have rules about what you can import, but if you've imported maybe a bunch of people that you're following up with and you want to get them organized, you can drag and drop them into a folder. And as soon as you drop someone into a folder, they instantly become subscribed to that matching email campaign. So if I drop test lead into the leads folder, test lead will start to receive emails that pertain to being a lead. And by the way, they start 24 hours after you move them. And that is because if you make a mistake, know that you can always go back in and move them, and you have about 24 hours before a new campaign will start. So if I dropped this lead in here and I was wrong, the email doesn't get sent immediately. I could go back in that folder and then move them to a different folder and know that they're not receiving 3 different emails from every time I move them. I hope that makes sense. So I could put test lead in the leads folder. Now, if test lead decides to become a customer, I could drag and drop test lead into the customer folder. Test lead is unsubscribed from all the lead email campaigns and now automatically subscribed to being a customer campaign subscriber. Just like that, you just drag and drop. So in here you can drag and drop people and it's matched to the email campaigns. Let me show you a little bit further how this works. So you do create and manage folders. Okay, you can do a new folder if you want or edit the existing ones. Now some of these are default system folders. You see system folder default. We have already set these up for you when you get your system. All these other ones in here that you see are from me doing demos and training teams and things like that. So we can create a new folder and we could call this demo 3. And you could write more info so when you hover over it, you know what it is. Okay. And here, when you add a folder, you also add the matching email campaign. This is what I've just been showing you. Every folder is matched to an email campaign. So we could say no. Sometimes you do want to have a folder with no email campaign. Why? I actually tell a lot of people to create a folder called sorting, or unknown. Maybe you have contacts in your account that you don't want to have receive emails. It's not that you want to unsubscribe them or they're bad, but maybe you've been talking to somebody and you're just not sure where they fit yet. Or maybe you imported some contacts of yours out of your iPhone into the system so you can start marketing to them, but you don't know what folder people go in yet. You might want a folder with no emails. So you could do a folder with no email campaign, and it's just a contact folder. But for most of us, we either want to use an existing campaign that's already been written. So every time someone goes into this demo folder, they start getting this campaign. Or most of the time you do, yes, create a new campaign. And that automatically just created a new email campaign. And then you can click on this to add messages. And that's basically it. You can click close. Okay. So I just added here, and it's going to reload now, a demo 3 testing folder. Okay, so that is now in my contact manager, that folder. And just so you can see how well it matches up, if we go back to our marketing and we go back to email campaigns, there's a matching folder called demo 3. And then I'd want to come in here and add, and basically add, I can edit. And then I need to add new messages. What day do I want it to be sent on? What subject line do I want? We can do codes. So we can add things like the recipient's first name if we want to address to them. That way it looks like we're writing an email to them. Okay. And we can come in here and write an email for day, we could do day number 1. And you can really use your imagination on this and basically make this a personal assistant sending emails on your behalf. Is there something, ask yourself, is there something you always want to send out? Maybe you have 10 different really good marketing videos. You could do an email for each video and add the video over. By the way, if you watch real closely over here, I clicked on the little video icon, and you can just click add to email just like that. And you can add your videos to, and we have the smart sender links. We're not going to cover that in this video. There's so much we can add automatically. So maybe you want to create an email campaign that's a video tour where every other day you say, Brooke, did you see the desert tour? Remember, you want to be creative and not do things other people are doing. Okay, and then you could add a signature file. And the way that this works, and we'll go over this many times, is over here, there's this little tiny tag, and you can put in your first name. Okay, actually in this case you want to do the recipient's name, not your name. Sorry about that. So that's okay, we just backspace. We're not messing anything up. First name, comma. We could write what do you think? Would you ride a camel? Okay, I know that seems a little silly, but people want to talk to a real person, not a robot or an ad campaign. Can you agree with me on that? And when you ask people questions, which I recommend doing on the phone, people will answer you back. So I would say, have you seen our desert experience? What do you think? Would you ride a camel? Okay. And then now what I'm doing here is I'm actually not going to use my name. I'm going to use sender's first name, which is me. I'm the sender. Sender's last name. Might want to put a space there between the two. Okay. And most of you probably know how to do this already, but I'm just showing you. Your email address. Now the reason I'm using these tags, these are called tags, is because these are customization codes. So if I change my phone number next year, or I decide to use an 800 number, I only have to change that in the My Account settings. And if I created 100 email templates in here, not that you would do that, but if I did, everything is automatically updated. I don't have to go and edit every email template again. We're creating duplication. And later on, videos you might see from us later on, we have team leader options where these can be duplicated for your downline. So if you've written really good templates and you end up bringing a bunch of people onto the system, these can actually be shared with your team, and that's where all these customization codes makes the whole system duplicatable. Okay, so you can come in here and write a signature. Okay, and then you would definitely do website address too. You might want to use your personal website. If, you can call that whatever you want. Okay, and you might want to do, look at this, you could even do your social media is even saved. There's so much you can do in here, as you can see. Let's do my Facebook page. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, I created a day one message, and I'm going to save that message. And now we've done day one on this campaign, just like that. And let's do a little preview. We can click on HTML. And that video would pop up. I'm not sure why. It might be, by the way, it might be my browser or something. Or maybe I didn't save the video. That video should be there. And, oh, you know what else it is? This is a demo account. And I'm pretty sure that I'm missing stuff in there. So let me go back and see if I did anything. Let's edit again, make sure it's good. I like to double check everything, and you can learn from me on this. This system is really good. You can definitely learn from me right here that, some things didn't save. So we can add it again. This is really unusual, but maybe this thing happens for a reason that I'm going to do it again. And the other thing where I can bring this up is okay, and we also could have done a preview here and a test message here as well. Let's do a preview from here. And I do have pop-ups disabled. And let's see, so now it did show up that time. And I'm not sure why not. With anything, this can happen. Let me find where I was. Here we go. Okay, if something does happen though, so this is actually a good teaching experience where it didn't work for a second, you can go to my account and go to support and contact, this is the technical support that can help you with something that goes wrong here. And I probably clicked on save message. I'm not quite sure what happened. I want to continue this training, but know that there's an entire technical support staff here to help you. And I think this was a good lesson for me to remember to preview. And you can also do send test right here. And if you remember video one, I say only do this one time. Don't click send test 3 times in a row. Remember what I showed you in this training video. When you click send test, it will probably be very fast, but if it's not fast, remember that this whole system is slower because it is a marketing system. Getting in the inbox is the priority, not sending mail fast, which can hurt the ability to get in the inbox. So if I click send test, okay, and I could choose that email address and I could send test message. Okay, so it's set. Okay, and then I could see, did the video show up? Did my other information show up? Did it get in the inbox? But we'd not want to do that again and again and again. We'd wait maybe half an hour and check and come back again. So as you can see, this does take time and it does take patience and it does take trial and error, but it does work. And we'll save this message. And I've got something wrong. So we will have to contact our tech support. But you know what? Things are always changing, and sometimes I think things happen for a reason, so I can show you what to do about it when things do go wrong. And even for me, someone who's very experienced, sometimes I run into these hiccups, and sometimes it's the browser that I'm using. I'm actually on an older computer today. This computer's from 2013, and I have more issues on it, so sometimes it's a browser. Sometimes you might want to use a different, like Chrome or Chromium or Firefox or there's a couple different Microsoft browsers now. So sometimes you'll find you have different issues with different browsers, and I'm on an older computer and I can't say that I'd have the same problems on a different computer. So this is just what happens, right? But once we get a couple of campaigns here and we like the way they look, then we can go ahead. It's there. It's done. And this is where duplication comes in, and now these will send all the time. Okay. Let's circle back. I went a little deep into that because I wanted to show you most of all how where am I with this? The email campaigns match up with the contact manager settings. And I think I lost that one again. I think I clicked on something. But anyway, these match up with your contact manager. So when you organize your contacts, you're also dropping them into new email campaigns. And now we will see that campaign there. So you can drag and drop contacts into email campaigns, which is super cool and super easy to do. You just need to take time to set it up. Let's go look at the marketing tab again and see what else we have. We have emails and scripts. Let's click on this in the marketing tab. Now notice this. This is very important right here at the top. There's my content, and these are ones that these are all ones I've written for people. Okay. These are some of my favorite scripts. You can also write one-touch emails, and these are available when you're in the contact manager or when you're doing a lead dial. So if you're using the dialer or phone burner, we have both two types of dialing, a basic dial session and a phone burner dial session. These pop up in that, the phone scripts pop up in the dial sessions. So do the one-touch emails. So when you're talking to somebody, you can be reading the script, and then if you want to send them maybe this not home script, I tried to call and you weren't home, you already have this written already. I'll just show you a preview real quick. So this is actually quite long. But you can see this is all filled in automatically. And let me find my way back to where I just was. Okay, so these are one-touch emails. There's also warm market emails. So I didn't show you that yet, but you can add an invitation email for your warm market. Warm market are people that you're meeting in person, such as when I host a networking event. Maybe you're having a party at your house to show off your products. Maybe you've invited people down locally to see a presentation. Maybe you met a bunch of people at a restaurant. You could put them into your warm market and have, for people that you've met, an invitation email template that you've written. Add a new contact. You could create a template for every time you manually add a contact to the system. Here's an invitation to visit my website. And appointment emails. If you're scheduling a lot of appointments for business overviews, you can add your own email templates for that too. So these all, it seems like a lot, but they all work the same way. The phone scripts, the email templates, they're all almost identical. Let's click add a warm market email, and you will see it looks just like the last template. You basically fill in the blanks and write your message and use the tags and use the content that is in here. You can add videos. You can add smart sender packets if you have those. That's a whole other training in itself. So we could have a link to all the past training webinars that have been missed. That's just a smart sender page I created because so many people were asking for all the past webinars. Again, smart sender is kind of like a Dropbox link. So when team members ask me for all the webinars I did, I can just go into an email and click that and have a template ready to go. And I can add my signature again. Anyway, I can create a template in here and save it in the emails and scripts. So there's all of this, but here's the really good news. Here's the system content. We have written so much for you already. Look, I've never counted all these, but look how many phone scripts, one-touch emails, warm market wizard emails, add a contact emails, and appointment emails are already done. So we've actually done a lot of these. And sometimes what may happen is you'll like some of our templates. You can click copy. And when you click copy, you'll make a copy in the My Content. So then there's one you can edit. So let's go to the, for example, let's do that warm market wizard. We could, on the opportunity, we could do copy. Okay, and it's totally safe to do that. Let's go down to the Warm Market Wizard. Now we have an opportunity copy, and we could edit this, and could edit the settings as well. I just click on edit settings, and I could change this to, you know, this team opportunity. Maybe you have a specific name for a type of some kind of invitation you want to send out. Make this all about you, a description so you know what you're, if you do a preview of it. So really good. I was thinking of you. So you could come in here and edit this to be whatever you want it to be, change some of the info around, add some videos, add some links, change anything in here. But remember, I like things that look like somebody just wrote it. Sometimes I actually recommend, even though you can make your own templates too, I actually recommend having no template because this doesn't look like spam. So you can even remove the template and save those changes. Great, it's saved. And that's now in my invitations. So here's all the templates. I'm in the marketing tab. Let's go back to that marketing tab. I'm trying to give you a tour. Here's the email broadcast tool. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is when you want to send one big broadcast out. So it's like a newsletter. If you've heard of like MailChimp or Constant Contact, this is very similar. But here's the thing. Those companies don't allow network marketers to have accounts. I don't know if you knew that. They don't allow you to have accounts. And here with Prospect Toolbox, your leads, if your leads are new leads that you bought with us, and you buy anything within 30 days old, they're loaded into your contacts automatically. Your leads are already here. You don't have to import any data. You can create a new broadcast, and you can choose saved searches, your team. You might want to go back, by the way, and do a saved search on the certain people. I think we'll do that in a different video where I do the contact manager overview. But you can do a saved search and basically start a campaign to them. And it's basically almost the same builder, but here's some really cool things that you need to see. You can actually do by date range. So maybe you just want to do people in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so anyone, send to contacts, anyone who came into the system in the last 2 weeks. Okay, we could also do by location and do area codes. So maybe you have nationwide leads in here, and maybe you're doing an event in LA coming up in a month and you want to tell your new leads about it. You could come in here and add a bunch of LA area codes. Okay, and then you could just pull those contacts or only send to people within, how cool is this, 100 miles of a certain zip code where your next event is. So you could actually come into the system and email everybody within 100 miles of your next upcoming event. And then there's maybe no zip code there, sorry about that. And then you could come in here and write a message. And again, the message is going to be just like the other ones I showed you. I could put their location is close to our next event. So it's really personal. If somebody had put their city is this tiny little town and said is close to our next event, somebody's going to open this. And then you could write your email content. Okay, and did you our upcoming event? And then you could go on and write all your details, and then you could continue, and you could actually schedule this newsletter to go out to everyone in that zip code or everyone with those area codes and do a big mailing. All right, so most of you probably know how newsletters work, so let's go ahead a little bit more and try and speed up towards the end of this training. There's an email template creator, and this is if you want to do something like an outline, but let me tell you, I love emails that don't have this and look like somebody hand wrote it. So it's up to you, but if you want to use the template creator, this will take you through the process. You do need to know a little bit of HTML and web design to create new email templates, but know that you can if you want them designed differently. All right, back to that marketing tab. Let's go through here again, and we are at that's basically it for the email marketing in here. Okay, so we have these 4 right here, has all of our emails and scripts. One thing I didn't see that I want to check on, I'm going to step backwards for 1 minute. The emails and scripts, the system content. One thing I did not mention, see these one-touch emails? And all of this, there's so many. Wrong number, all of that. There is in here, I do believe, and I'm going to double check this, all content. These are also used in the phone burner as well. Okay, and we'll go look at the phone burner. So phone burner will automatically be leaving these messages when you use the dialer. So if you do want to customize them, you can come in here, make a copy, change the phone burner settings if you want to have specific emails go out, because phone burner is also completely customizable with the messages that you want to have go out. Just know we've already written a lot of them in here, and it's the same process of hitting copy. Now let me just go through and give you a really quick broad tour of how these things all link together. So when we go to the dashboard and you do this, let's do the let's do invite your warm market real quick. This I've actually used at events where you can have people write in their names. Maybe if you have a party at your house or a networking event, pull this up on your computer or your laptop or your iPad and have people type in their name, phone number, email, and then they could even put no email, or they could subscribe to a campaign. How cool is that? And then they'll be added correctly. And usually I'll let a few people fill this out, hit next step. It'll automatically put them into my system. You know, in the past we'd have a clipboard and ask for them to sign in. Now we could have this on our iPad or iPhone and hand this over to them, or tablet or Android tablet, whatever you have, and have them fill this out. And that will add them to the system. And so what I want to show you, this would add them to the warm market folder in the contacts and subscribe them to the warm market email campaign, which will start in 24 hours. Are you starting to see how these templates all piece together? Okay. So now we have Smart Sender. We don't have the time to cover that. You could build Smart Sender packages, which are like Dropbox links, and then add them to your emails. System training we don't need. We've covered check your email, view your calendar. If you schedule appointments here, or when you're talking, when you're on the phone, there's buttons to schedule appointments. One of the email templates we saw was actually the appointment reminder. So you could change that template that's triggered anytime you schedule an appointment. It's the appointment reminder for your clients, customers, downline, whoever you're talking to. So they get a custom appointment reminder. So everything is really, really linked up. And then it goes even farther, where all the things that they do from the marketing messages that go out, so whether you're doing broadcast, one-touch emails, the calendar, no matter what you do, they show up in this activity tracker. And you can see who's opening. Let's do view more activity, because I don't use this account very much. It should load in a second. And let's do a bigger date range. And in here, we can actually see when somebody opens a message and unsubscribed, filled out a lead capture page, okay, what they watched a video. And if you were to click on this person, you could actually see how much of the video they watched. So it's really good to stay on top of everybody right here in the dashboard. And this is where everything starts to come together. And I'm not very active in this account, so there's no hottest prospects today. But if I were to click on this, you can see this is like a scoreboard with points associated for everything that they do. So every time someone opens a broadcast message, they get 10 points. So if you have a lead that has opened 4 of your messages, they would have 40 points. And then what happens is right here, you see a daily total, and you know this person's interested. You know this person just went through and opened 4 of your messages. You know you want to click on their name and call them right back. You know that there's someone interested. You know they just watched the videos. So all these emails link back up to this, which is really cool. And I've never seen anything else that does this in this way. So that's how everything links together. And if there's anything else I would show you that I haven't already, I'm going to find my contacts real quick and show you something with that. Okay, right now I'm back on my sample contact page, and I'm just going to click on myself so you can see what happens when you have your leads in here from HBB Leads or your own imports. There's so much going on here that you can look at, okay? And you can add notes, and we don't have time to cover all of this, but what you do want to know is that you can see what campaign they are subscribed to. So I could subscribe myself to a certain campaign about a certain topic. So if you're calling your leads and they really want to learn about a certain product in your company and you made an email campaign about it, or you have a video tour, or whatever it is you want to send them, you can subscribe them to reset to day 1 or remove. So then we could do a different campaign if we wanted to. We could subscribe to a different one. I think we can actually do, we can actually do more than one. So you can actually come in here and subscribe to someone to campaigns and know that these start 24 hours after you subscribe them. So I actually won't get any messages. And if you talk to somebody and you don't want them to get the campaign, you can come in here and click remove. But then also, just so you know, if I was to move this contact into the leads folder, and then I clicked on, I don't know if I have to reset it. If I clicked on campaign again, anyway, I am subscribed to the leads campaign. I probably have to refresh this page entirely just so we can see that I am. I moved myself into the leads folder. And now if we click on campaign, I'm now subscribed to leads. So anytime you move somebody into a folder, I'm put myself back in the phone burner demo, I'm moving me. You could also drag and drop. We saw that earlier. I'm going to refresh the page again. If I go back to campaigns on myself, I'm not subscribed to anything because there's no campaign. So whenever you move someone to a folder to organize them, know that you're also organizing what automatic emails go out. Okay, I really want everyone on this training today to get this and really understand how these folders connect. So in addition to that, there's also send email right here. And that brings up pre-written email. Now, sometimes when you're here, you'll see there's not many templates. Just like the campaigns, the email templates are tied to certain folders. It actually was one of the settings. We didn't go over it in detail. When I was writing email campaigns, you can choose what folders they match up to. And you could do all folders if you want. Now, if the email campaigns aren't there, that's okay. I can move myself. Maybe this person's more of a lead. I'm move this person to the lead folder. Let's see if send email works. If not, I'll move myself again. Oh, there we go. So look at all the templates that popped up now that I'm in the leads folder. So if I called this person and it was the wrong person on the phone, that's already written. I mean, it's quite a long email. You can edit it. If you don't like something in the email, you can edit it right here and then click send email. Okay, and that email's sent. And you can see the activity and it shows you sent a one-touch email, and you can even click on it and see that email again. If I click on links in the email, if I watch the videos, all that will show up here as well as on the dashboard. So this thing is very integrated, and you can see how when you do the templates, they start to help. Now, when you do dial sessions, such as phone burner, and we have another dial session here, these same sort of pop-ups come up, like send email. Same thing where you can choose a template. So if you're talking to somebody on the phone, and maybe you have an email pre-written that has all your favorite videos in it, you can just send it right out, and it's that fast. So you're getting that duplication in. If you add an event for this person, maybe you want to schedule a follow-up call, which is really common. It's actually in the past, I think, but anyway, when I schedule this, send appointment email. You can see that. And you can actually have, there's a drop-down box where if you had already pre-written a number of meeting reminders, they would also show up here as well. Okay, and then you could save and close. And this whole meeting reminder with a description you could write, the time of the event, all these things would be sent as well to your lead. So when you schedule it for yourself, you're automatically sending that email to your lead as well with the appointment reminder. So basically, what happens is as you use this system, you're going to have more and more and more emails going out. You'll have your email campaigns going out. You'll have one-touch emails as you're talking to people. If you use Phone Burner, that sends a lot of emails regarding what happens. If you get someone's voicemail machine, it sends a voicemail email. You could go and send a newsletter and do a broadcast about an event coming up to everybody or people in a certain area. I think you're getting the idea that there's a lot of ways to send email in here. And now I'm going to circle back. Remember that all these emails, including that appointment email, including the send email, everything in this entire system is slow because it's a marketing email trying to get in the inbox, and it has to be done at a certain speed. So if you're talking to somebody, and this is pretty rare, but you can't text them, you have to email them, you definitely want to go to the dashboard and you want to go and click on this check your email or unread email and go write that handwritten email if you can't wait for a marketing program to get your email through. Okay, so that's a very broad overview of all the ways to send email in here. Let's go back and check our slides. I want to see where we're at, so give me just a moment. Okay, so here's the plan that we're working through. And I know this is a long email, but it really does add up. I've covered this actually in some other some other presentations I've done, that all of these little tips that you get and little advice, they might seem insignificant at first, but they really add up over time. Little improvements, especially with an automated system like Prospect Toolbox or any other marketing program. You're sending the right kind of emails, the right kind of subject lines. You're sending a lot of email the right way. It starts to add up and you're suddenly getting a lot of responses. So this definitely is worth it. Okay, so we went through a lot of these settings, and now let's do our first 10 days game plan. Okay, so we're on our final step of what to do in your account. Make sure you take notes if there's anything you have skipped or anything you still need to do. All right, so the number one way in here, by the way, to get more emails in the inbox is to customize your system with your very own domain name, and that's in the My website. So this is a step-by-step right now for you to follow along with. And we're going to start with this Your Marketing site. And while we need to keep this focused on email marketing, we're not going to talk about how to customize the site. We're just going to do the domain name. There's going to be options right here on your system. I've already added a custom domain here to do for training purposes, but you can add right here your own link, your own domain name. You can use a domain name you have already purchased somewhere else. So if you have a name that you want to use, you can definitely do that. And you will have to change the name servers on that domain name. It's very easy to do. And if you don't know how to do that, then you can contact the host of where you bought your domain name. Maybe that's GoDaddy or Namecheap, and contact their customer service. And when you add a custom domain, which we can't really see here because I've already added one, we give you the name servers and we have a 1, 2, 3 step-by-step on how to do it. The other option we have here is to buy a domain through the same company. Last time I checked, it was around $10 a year to buy the domain. If you buy a new domain name through us, there's no changing of name servers or technical settings, and it usually happens within, I would say, 10 minutes, or it's very, very fast. In contrast, when you use your own domain name, I didn't cover this, when you use your own domain name that you already own and you change the name servers, that can take up to 24 hours to take effect. So you have to add your domain name and then wait about 24 hours and then come back and finish the last step, which is all explained on that page. I'm not going to show that here because this account already has the domain. It's not even here for me to show. I apologize for that. But all the instructions are there. And if you need help, you have HBB Leads customer service, and you also have the support staff here, which is the tech support for the system to help you out. Everyone I know has been able to do it without any issues. So you can add your own domain name or buy one through us, which is almost immediate if you do that. So if you need help picking a domain, you always want to pick something that is easy to spell, easy to read, and easy to share over the phone, because you're calling your leads and giving it out. So in my previous video, I used workwithbrooke.com, or you know what I mean? Something that simple. You could do something about the type of industry you're in. It's really up to you. You're welcome to email me, brooke@hbbleads.com. Tell me what domains you're thinking of. I'll give you my honest feedback. Maybe pick out 4 or 5 you're interested in. And you do want to try and buy it when you do that, because when you try and buy the domain, it'll tell you if it's available or not. So you want to find some that are already available, no one else has yet, which you can do when you go to buy it. And if you want, you can email me 4 or 5 options you're thinking of. I'll tell you what I think. Basically anything simple, easy to read, easy to spell, the shorter the better. By the way, when you use a domain here, take a note of this. Definitely use a .com. A lot of spammers use .biz and .info, so you don't want to use those extensions. You want a .com domain here. Now, here's what happens when you buy this domain. Let's say you're complete with your domain. If you need help with this, come back here and you will see the options. Or contact us. Okay, so once your domain is here, what happens is you can only change it one time. Remember that. It's a one-time thing, especially if you're working a lot of leads. It won't hurt anything in the past, but it would hurt things if you changed it again in the future. It would break your links, but not things. Your old links will still work. So if you've already sent out a bunch of emails and you're already working leads, don't worry. It's not going to interrupt that. Your old links will work. But all of your links when you get a new domain will change. Your marketing website, your videos, your smart sender pages, your lead capture pages, your email address, everything gets branded to your domain name. And what this does is now you're not using a shared domain name, which is shared with hundreds. I don't know, it might even be thousands of users. I know we have at least a couple hundred. So there might even be thousands sharing that domain name with you. And the way that these mail postmasters work is they group you all together. So if somebody else has that domain and they're being kind of spammy with the mail they're sending, they're not doing the things I recommend in these videos, then you're kind of grouped in with that. So when you have your own domain name, you really stand apart and you're kind of giving a clean reputation. Now, there's definitely more factors than that, but this is one of the biggest ones, that when most people change their domain name, if they're sending a lot of mail and they're not seeing on the dashboard a lot of opens, when they change their domain, this usually goes up a lot. Just we can see it. We know that this works. And so you really want to change your domain name. And then I'm now going to walk you through step by step. So step 1 is change your domain name to a custom domain that's just yours. If you're serious about getting your emails in and having more responses, you have to do this. Then you go to the dashboard. And on the dashboard, you'll start seeing more emails come in. But follow with me along right now, step by step, on what to do next after you get your new domain. So you register your domain number 1. Next step, I want you to go back through the step number 2, account setup wizard. Even though it's completed, open the account setup wizard and go through step by step and make sure your email address and your new domain name are the one that you want here if it's not here already. Okay, so double check this. And actually, this is your marketing site address. This actually doesn't matter, so leave that as it is. Don't change that. These are some of our template ones that we already have for you. So this can stay the same. Don't worry about this marketing site address. That stays the same. This would be your old website from when you first got the system. Just leave that. Next step, what we're doing is checking your personal email, and this is what you want to change. This is where your alerts go from your system, like billing alerts and things like that, or your HBB Leads email address with your HBB Leads account, leave that the same. But right here, you'll see your new domain name, and what you want to do is create your new email address, which would be your name at your domain name. So maybe mine would be brooke@workwithbrooke.com. And next step, and then save. So after you register that domain, come in here and do the account setup wizard again so you can change your email address. Now, step number 3, you want to go to My Account and My Account up here. And I want you to do the same thing. And I really recommend that everybody does this anyway, regardless. You've already done that setup wizard. We just did that actually on the welcome page. By the way, if your welcome page was gone, because you can actually stop showing this page, maybe some of you deleted it, that's okay. In My Account, I forgot this was there, I'm sorry, but you can launch the same setup wizard. So if you've lost your welcome page because you got rid of it, you can always launch the setup wizard here. I recommend doing a double take and going through all of this. I recommend everybody with a new account check all of these out, especially your email sending profile. So this is what it will show about you in your messages that are going out. You can update your email address. You can also change things like your mobile device notifications, and this allows you to actually use your new email address. Maybe you want to get those emails on your iPhone. Maybe you want to use your iPhone or your other email hosting account or your Outlook, whatever you're using. You can actually integrate the email from here with your new email address. So this is step number 3, is double check your account information and your email notification. Take the time. I know this looks like a lot, but you do this one time, and for the next year, you can focus on your contacts, calling, emailing heavily, knowing you're getting the inbox, getting more replies, and knowing exactly what people are seeing about you in those emails. Because even though we have tons of templates in here, when you update this information, you know exactly what's going out in those templates. It's absolutely worth the time to have that peace of mind. One of the worst things to have happen is say, these leads have my personal cell phone number and I wanted them to see my other business line, right? So this is where you can kind of fix all those things and make sure everything looks the way you want it to. So that is step number 3. Now, step number 4, last step, you want to go to the dashboard and you want to click on that check your email. Remember, there's a personal email account in here. And in your personal email account, you want to go to preferences and account, and you can actually change from the MPG mail to the all-in team travel. You can also add additional email accounts with different names if you want to reply with different names, or put a team name, put your personal name. You could create a different aliases in here. Your sent messages, choose what appears in the from field. So you could change this from the MGP mail, which was the default, to the all-in team. That's this one. You would have your own domain name in the from field. And I would go through here, and you also might want to do your signature, right? You might want to make a nice signature for your emails and things like that. So you want to go through your preferences as well. Make sure your name in the from, and that's your name. This would be like Brooke Hewlett, Brooke@workwithbrooke.com would be right here. And then when I'm done, I would want to save up here. It's up here in the right hand corner. I'm going to click save when I'm done making these changes. So I've also changed the personal email address in the personal email account. So now I would have a personal email address that's branded to me, and this will get in the inbox almost 100% of the time, if not 100% of the time, very close, because I'm not sharing it with anybody else. And that's the add-on for the domain is about about $10 a year. And then you just need to change these settings. So really quickly, I just want to recap really quickly for you and remind you of one last thing that I'm not sure that I covered, is that once you have all of this set up, I want you to remember one more thing about email. You have all these ways to edit it. It does pay off in the long run. All of the responses to all of the marketing messages in here. So when people hit reply, maybe you did a phone burner session and that sent out some emails. Maybe you added them to the warm market. Maybe they had an appointment reminder. Maybe you did a one-touch email in the contacts. There's so many ways to send mail. Any of those ways, if somebody hits reply, they're always going to land right here. So remember every day to log in and check your unread email, and you can see who has replied to you. And right here from the unread email, you can come in here, which is this account right here, and you can click on it and you can then hit reply and write them back. And this works just like a normal email account. And if you don't want to use this, or you're afraid you won't use this enough, I kind of just showed this to you, but I'm going to go back. If you're afraid you won't use this, in this My Account, there is the SMTP settings. I do believe this is where you can have the, you can start to have some of this go somewhere else. Like you could have the mail go somewhere else. I believe, I'm not 100% confident, I think in the preferences, there may be filters that might allow, I haven't actually done much of this, but I'm going to say there's probably a couple things in here to help you out with sorting your mail. As you can see, you can go very, very deep down the rabbit hole of how you set up your email in here. We give you a lot of options. I believe there's also another place, and maybe I'll have to do an add-on. I do believe there's another place in here with some of the email settings. I would have to search for it, but let's see if I have it. All right, I found it. It's actually right in front of me. The email inbox instructions, which you would have gone through anyway, has those POP and SMTP names, so you could access your email on something like your iPhone or an app or a desktop app like Outlook Express, and pull your mail this way. Or you can even add this stuff to your Gmail account if you know how, and log in and get your mail in case you're afraid that you might not log in and check this little box right here every day. You could have it filtering to your other mail. So there's a lot to cover in here, and I want to thank you for going through all of this with me. And real quick, if you didn't take notes, let me tell you one more time real quickly how to do that custom domain name one last time. I know I did it, but just in case, my website, you can add your own domain name you already registered or buy one through us. When that process is done, you want to go back to the welcome page or back to the My Account up here and do the setup wizard again. Check the email address, make sure it looks right. Go through these settings, make sure all these settings, look, I like to do all of them. Whenever I do it, I've used this so many times. Sometimes the programmers here are always adding on. Just double check. You'll feel so good that you did. Just to check everything, make sure everything is matched up for your new email address. And then also in the dashboard, be sure to go into your personal email account and add your new email address there as well in those preferences that are deep in that account in the preferences. So tied it all together. I hope that works for you. I just recapped that real quick. I probably didn't need to, but I felt like doing it for somebody out there. So we have all these ways to send email. Let's check my slides. I think we're about done. And like I said, all these little tips that I gave you today, they all add up in a big way to help increase your sales. And you can have so many emails going out, friendly emails that don't look like advertisements. And yes, it takes time to set those up, but the payoff over time with an automated machine like this, it really pays off. So we can't cover everything in this video. I'm sure you've seen that we could have spent an entire video on any one topic today that I covered. If you need extra help, we have support at HBB Leads, and the Prospect Toolbox has customer support too. So reach out wherever is best for you. And for those of you that are interested in Prospect Toolbox and you don't have it yet, I want to show you something. You can go here to Prospect Toolbox and you can buy it. It's $1 for 10 days. And I actually recommend that what you do is you do this video and other videos like it in that 10-day period. So you spend $1. In the first 10 days, you customize your email settings, like getting your domain name. You customize all of that, any email templates, videos you want to add. There's so much you can customize. And then by the time you do pay the price, which is about $29.95 plus free leads, $49.95 or $119.95, by the time you actually have that full price, you've already set up your account. And you want to do that because when those free leads come in, your account is ready to go. You know exactly what will happen with the leads. You know what videos are going out. You know what information they're getting. And it's not a guessing game, because the leads might call you back and the leads might start opening your emails. Actually, most people with the free leads start to see activity on that activity tracker on the homepage right here with those free leads. So use your $1 10-day trial to do all the setup. So when you get those free leads, you maximize the free leads with having all your settings already in place. I knew I was forgetting something. The very last thing. When you're setting up your account and you're on this 10-day trial, or maybe you're already in the account, I really recommend that in your account, you add yourself as a contact. And let me pull up that page for you real quick. Okay, so when you're in the contact manager, you can add a contact right here. Add yourself. And maybe if you have friends or family that will allow you to add them, like I have a business email address, a few of them, you can actually see right here that I've added myself multiple times with work phone numbers, fake phone numbers, different numbers I've had for different projects. One would go to an old customer support help desk. You don't have to do all that, but I added myself many times in many ways. And what that allowed me to do is if I want to try using the phone burner, I have a list to dial, or the send email, or the send email broadcast. And maybe you just have one contact, that's yourself. But once you have that contact, you add yourself as a contact right here. Okay. Once you add them, come in here and try sending the email. Send the email, send the one-touch email, choose the script. We already covered this. If you're not seeing all the templates, you need to move them to a new folder and so on. You can edit the information, play with everything during your 10-day trial, and send yourself emails. Go and answer your emails. Reply to your own emails from the system. Go in the dashboard and see how they show up in the unread emails over here. And go back and forth like you are a lead and you're working the system. Answer yourself, reply to yourself, play out some scenarios. And what will ultimately happen is you'll realize, you know what, I want to add in the marketing section, I want to add this certain video from YouTube, and then I want to make an email about it. And you can come in the video creator, make an email about it, and you can really play with it and keep adding it. But when you add yourself as a lead, and then you see yourself show up in this activity tracker, and then you can click on yourself, and then you can see this one's probably fake, so I'll go ahead and click on it. And then you can go and see, what did this person fill out, right? And you can see this is a fake contact, so nobody should be contacting them. But you can definitely come in here and see what they put in. It actually can pull their address, by the way. They didn't put in their address. It can actually pull it off of this fake phone number. I think this is actually a fake phone number right here. It actually can pull the address off that, not the full address, but it knows kind of where someone is. So you can go and see how this works. Take notes on yourself, add events, add an event for yourself and let it send you an event email and see how that looks. And basically just play with it and make sure everything is connecting the way you want, and get comfortable with it. Play out calling your leads and play with it. And then my last and final advice, once you've added yourself as a lead, you've added your own custom domain name, you've looked over the email templates. Look, I know this is a lot of work. I know that this could take you possibly an entire week of work. But once you do this once, you have this duplication where you've made all these little improvements to how you run your business. And when you get back to dialing leads and following up with everybody, you now have a machine working for you on autopilot 24/7, sending email campaigns with newsletters, with follow-ups. It's so good when you get it set up. I've seen so many people get successful from this system or even when the system was smaller than this with less features. It's the people that showed up and worked it every day. So my final piece of advice is this. If you're still watching, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. This stuff absolutely pays off in the long run. I've watched a lot of success stories come through over the years from people learning how to do all of this. And here's where the real success is. Imagine this is like you just got a toolbox of tools that sits in the garage. Well, maybe not. Let's do like a gym membership, okay? If you get a gym membership, there's no way you could do all of this every day. There's actually too many tools in here for you to use every day. You don't have to learn how to do everything. But even if you just got proficient with the contact manager and a few one-touch emails, and maybe that was all you did, but you know those emails are done, you have to show up every day, call your leads every day, look at your activity track every day, check your emails coming in, your prospects. I always recommend to people spend about 80% of your time or more on follow-up and networking. Don't stop networking and get too overwhelmed with the system, okay? So keep focusing on networking. Use the contact manager. In that contact manager, be sure to take really good notes on the contacts as they come in. And as you use the contact manager and you're looking at the contact while you talk to somebody, you're taking notes, you're touching the one-touch email, it's going to happen for you. You're going to start clicking buttons, and it's like learning how to ride a bike, where the first week or even the first month, you feel a little clumsy, you don't know where things are, it's a little awkward, but what will happen is it will become so easy for you over time. And what will happen is you'll be able to search for someone's name here in the contact manager and have them pull up with all their notes and all their activity and all the emails they received. And it starts to compound. All these little drip emails going out, all these follow-ups, all the good notes you take, it lifts up your business to being really proficient, really highly organized, and you're right on top of any lead that's interested in your business. You're going to know because you're going to see them open your emails, watching your videos, and this contact manager is amazing. You can come in here, search for any, if you get a call back, your phone rings, search their name in here. They'll pop up in an instant with all the notes, all the emails they've opened, all the videos they've watched. You really just have to use it every day. I always say focus on the dashboard and the contact manager. Always be recruiting and following up all the time. Focus on that. And you could even slowly start to work on the emails, but at least now you know how to. And I like to recommend that you duplicate what you're already doing. So if you've talked to your leads today, maybe you talked to 10 people and 3 different people, you decided to send them the same webinar video from your corporate team. Go in here and add the video to your account and then create some one-touch email templates with the video. And then the next day when you dial leads, you can just check off people and send them that email. And it's going to be so easy to get a lot of activity in your business. So thank you. This is a long training, but to be fair, this is one of the more complicated and long trainings to do. Our other trainings are probably much easier than this, but now you have all the resources to get your emails opened with building your home-based business. Remember to reach out to customer service if you need help. And if you want to learn more, keep checking back at HBB Leads. We're releasing new videos all the time. And I love recording videos so that you can send these out to your team, use them for duplication, watch them at your convenience any hour of the day, and continue to increase your results. So again, my name is Brooke, and thank you so much for watching.